Hi and welcome to my channel. In this video, we will talk about Victorian Era. The Victorian Era was a time of big changes in United Kingdom. It started in 1837 when Queen Victoria became queen and ended in 1901 when she died. During this time, United Kingdom became a powerful country and its empire grew. There were also many new inventions and ideas during this time, and a lot happened in industry, technology, culture, and society. The Victorian Era was a time of great progress for England. Historical context. Imagine a time when things were made by hand. The Victorian Era happened during the Industrial Revolution, a time of big changes in how things were made. Machines powered by steam and later electricity transformed industries like textiles, iron, and coal mining. This led to the growth of cities like London and Manchester, and many people moved from the countryside to find jobs in the new factories. Social structure. The Victorian Era had a strict social order with different classes. The rich people were at the top, the middle class in the middle, and the working class at the bottom. People's behavior and how they were expected to act were different depending on their class. Victorians believed in strong moral values, like being honest and modest. This affected how they lived their lives. Women were expected to be pure and take care of the home, while men were expected to be strong and responsible. Economic changes. The Victorian Era was a time of great economic growth for Britain. This was due in part to the British Empire, which was spread out all over the world. The empire brought a lot of money and resources into Britain, which made the country very wealthy. This wealth also helped to create a growing middle class, which was a group of people who were not rich or poor. The middle class played an important role in shaping the culture and politics of Victorian Britain. Cultural developments. Think about the books you read, the art you see, and the buildings around you. In Victorian times, literature was big with authors like Charles Dickens telling stories about society's issues. The arts saw movements like the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, which focused on detailed and colorful art, and the aesthetic movement, which celebrated beauty for its own sake. Victorian architecture brought back styles like Gothic and neoclassical. Grand buildings like the Houses of Parliament and the Crystal Palace reflected the era's architectural ambitions. Technological innovations. The Victorian Era was a time of amazing technological progress. Trains became a symbol of progress, connecting places and changing how people traveled and traded. The telegraph allowed almost instant communication over long distances, changing how information spread. Medical and scientific knowledge improved, too. Anesthesia, antiseptic techniques, and Charles Darwin's ideas about evolution all came about during this time. Political landscape. The Victorian Era saw big changes in British politics. The Reform Acts of 1832 and 1867 gave more people the right to vote, which made the government more representative. The Chartist movement fought for even more political reforms, but it was not until later in the 1900s that everyone in Britain had the right to vote. Queen Victoria's long reign helped to bring stability to British politics during a time of great change. She was a constitutional monarch, which means that she had limited powers and Parliament had more power. This helped to establish a strong parliamentary system in Britain. Legacy of the Victorian Era. The Victorian Era left a lasting impact on modern Western society. The push for social reforms, such as labor rights and women's suffrage, began during this time. Ideas about education and helping others, seen through philanthropy, still guide our sense of responsibility today. Books from authors like Charles Dickens and the Bronte sisters are still read widely. The artistic movements of the time, like the Pre-Raphaelites, continue to influence how we see and appreciate art. Even the architectural styles of the Victorian Era can be seen in buildings around us. The technological progress of the time laid the groundwork for many of the conveniences we have today, like modern transportation networks and global communication systems. In conclusion, the Victorian Era was a time of many changes, some good, some challenging. It was a time of growth, upheaval, and cultural flourishing. The ideas from Victorian times about morality, technology, and political reforms still shape the world we live in. As we look back on this important period, we see how the Victorian Era has had a lasting impact on the way we live today.